This is the finals of the Georgia State Championship, the final two. We got Mr. Harvey and Mr. Charles, Crow and June. We just finished up and we're gonna read the scorecard off. Gonna add it up here.
All right, no particular order. With the orange dog with 21 checks for 210. We got the red dog, 2 strikes, 2 jumps, and 13 checks for 210.
You have a tie at 210. At 210.
Are you serious?
Your
So
winner is gonna be June.
Red dog.
June with the strike and jumps.
Congratulations,
They
Mr. Harvey.
they both looked awesome.
I'm coming, Mr. Harvey. I'm coming.
He's on his way. Congratulations.
Congratulations. You have a tie at 210. You have a
I'm coming, Mr. Harvey. I'm coming.
On his way.
There he is. Rabbit just jumped.
Get in here. Let's talk about some hounds. In particular, let's talk about that hunt I just showed you guys. We call it hunt. Some guys call it, strictly trialing, but sometimes we say we got a hunt coming up. But that particular trial was the ARHA Progressive Pack 2017 Georgia State hunt. A pretty significant hunt. The guys that trial dogs, we're looking to compete not only locally, but have a dog that we can take to the state hunts. Those are the big hunts. Everybody comes to the state hunt. It's a major accomplishment if you can win one of those hunts, because guys are coming from different states bringing their very, very best. So that particular year, I had a dog named Pearson's Black Crow. He was an outstanding dog. I have nothing bad to say about him. I don't own him anymore. I had a guy that wanted him a little bit more than I did, but I had enough of his offsprings in my kennel that I knew I could let somebody else enjoy a dog of that caliber. But that particular hunt, I think we had 2 casts before the final cast, and a cast is when you take 5 dogs out and you compete, and you have to beat those 5 dogs to carry on. So Crow, on his first cast, he won, by a significant amount, maybe 75, 80 points. The second cast, I think he won by 100 and something. So he was really, really dominating all that day. But I had something kind of unfortunate happen. It can be the luck of the draw sometime. I was running against the gentleman, Mr. Harvey Thornton, and let me speak about him just a little bit. He is considered a legend in Progressive Pack Beagling, he has won everything. I mean, he has won everything there is to win. He has dogs in the Hall of Fame. So he was not a stranger to winning. He was not a stranger to producing good dogs. He keeps good dogs. And I knew that once I realized that that's the gentleman that I'll be competing against, I knew I would be running against a very good dog. And regardless if it was him or whomever, if a dog makes it to the finals, that's a good dog. So I knew whatever dog I was running against, especially his, I knew I had a fight on my hands. But what happened is that, like I said, an unfortunate situation is that I had 2 casts before I got to the finals. And like I said, he dominated both casts. In both of my casts, the cast time span is 1 hour. In both of my casts, we had 45-minute running out of 60 minutes. So we're talking about dogs locked onto a track and pushing it for 45 minutes. And I think, I'm trying to recall, but I think it was in the low 80s. So the temperature was, not conducive for that type of running. We actually had a few dogs that fell out. They just couldn't stand that heat and that pressure. We had to kind of pull a few to the side. Things happen when it's that hot. So rather than have a dog have a heat stroke, certain gentlemen decide to pull their dog out of the race. We had that to happen that particular day. But I wasn't concerned too much about endurance because I ran Crow probably 20 days out of 30, leading up to that trial. So, and endurance has never been his issue. So I wasn't really worried about that. But I can assure you, I wasn't fresh. I mean, Crow was not a fresh dog in that final. Come to find out, Mr. Harvey didn't have any running or very little in his cast. So he had a very fresh dog. So going into that, I knew that I had a little disadvantage. I had a dog that had really been pushing all day in that type of weather, and he had a dog that they didn't have much running on the cast, before the finals. But make a long story short, they both did their thing. At the end of the day, they came out, tying. I think it was 210, if I'm not mistaken. The footage will show it. But I think it was 210 points. And it's very rare that you have that type of situation because, the judge is running and marking on the piece of paper when a dog gets a check or gets a jump or gets a strike. And when he looks down at it, he just sees marks. So you only really find out how close these dogs are is when you get back to that truck. And as you saw in the video, it was a shock to everybody that those dogs had tied. But there's a progressionary step measure that, we pretty much go through when it comes to picking a winner when that happens. And Mr. Harvey dog had more jumps than my dog. I outstruck him. I mean, not outstruck him, but I outchecked him. Outchecked her because it was a female that he had, and that allowed him to go on and be the winner, of that particular hunt, 2017 Georgia State Hunt, which is a major accomplishment. But I was pretty pleased myself with coming in second. I really was. But it can be the luck of the draw. Like I said, the shoe could have been on the other foot. He could have been in those type of casts beforehand, and he would have had a dog that would have been a little worn out. And I'm sure, Crow probably would have taken advantage of that. Like she took advantage of him not being, 100% at full capacity. But at the end of the day, for you guys that's looking forward to trying to learn more about the sport of beagling, and just, if it's not to enter trials, it's just to have a good pack of dogs. There's a lot to be learned as far as what it takes to be a good dog, what it takes to stay on that track, and I had to learn that along the way. There's a systematical approach to everything. I mean, if you do it wrong, the result's not going to be too good. But if you do it right, and that's how dogs work. I know back in the day, we just knew we had a good pack of dogs. We didn't know why. We didn't know that this dog did it this way or that dog did it that way. But now that I've learned over the years that, if you work that check inside out, that's a plus. If you stay close to that line, that's a plus. If you have a dog that keep his nose on the ground, that's a plus. There's dogs that can run a rabbit with their nose up, but at the end of the day, that scent is on the ground. So I'm always looking for that dog that keep his nose on the ground. But anyway, if you guys have any questions, leave me a comment or a question, and if I don't have the answer, I'm sure I can find it. My goal is to share with you guys some of my experiences over the many years that I've been dealing with dogs. So I don't mind, helping guys out there that may have, simple questions. And we're going to continue this, going forward. So if I do get those questions in the comment, I may not address you directly, but I'll, put up a video and I'll try to address those questions that you guys have out there. Until next time, be safe and good running.